Hello and welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. This is episode 876, being recorded on July 15 already, 2026. I'm Sebastian Peak.
It's the German one. I'm Jeremy Hellstrom.
Sebastian has new things behind him, and I'm so curious to hear about them later. I'm Josh Walrath.
There is no German version. Stop the vicious rumors. I'm Brett Van Spernberg.
And I'm Kent Burgess.
You know, when you tell an outrageous lie on the podcast,
It travels faster than the truth can tie its shoes.
It's true.
Yep.
we had a
Goes
comment
around the world faster.
asking for the German version in German, and I had to do some Google Translate, and I responded and said, you know, there is no German version. That was not true. Maybe Google can translate it for you on the fly if you're watching YouTube. So
is there a German word for lying frickin' podcast?
There must be.
Auf Wiedersehen.
It's probably significantly more specific
Bitte
than
lieben
that.
Fuchsmonster Podcast. Tschüss.
I have old,
Wait.
bitter people yelling about computer hardware on a podcast. It's about 18 syllables, but
Yeah.
Ausgezeichnet.
What were you going to say, Kent?
Get Der Bauer. We could just get Der Bauer to translate it for us. He has nothing else
Yeah, he's got a lot of time on his hands.
he does record every video in English and German.
to do. German. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Google Translate right now and figure out exactly what lying podcast is. Wait, the lying podcast. That didn't work.
well, you turned it into a title.
Der Lügen Podcast.
The Lugan Podcast.
Der Lügen.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
All right, moving on to the Patreon segment of our podcast. We, of course, have to thank some people. We have to thank everybody, really, for contributing to this. The
Who's
thrilling
Durs? I've never heard of Durs.
exercise. Yes, and Durs. Please tell us more, Brett.
So I went back into the podcast Patreon Hall of Fame. You know what I'm talking about, right? Hall of Fame. And I pulled out some random contributors from that. And I wanted to make a special mention for the Durs. I think we had that that name just thrown about just a few seconds ago. Jay Fleming.
Durs still shows up in our Discord and throws
He sure
throws
does.
a daily link for us to watch. Thank you, Durs.
Yes, thank you, Durs. Jay Fleming is another
those I will
long
never
time Patreon member. A. Edwards. And I'm leaving off people's first names to protect their innocence.
Anthony Edwards, the actor.
Yeah,
ER.
Stop it.
Goose.
We promise not to use first names here. JG47, which I think is a reference to a German airplane, perhaps. And WB Tracy.
Thank you all.
I don't think that stands
Even
for
Durs.
anything, really. It's just WB Tracy.
Just want to give you a big German donkey shorts. Donkey shorts.
Darling donkey
That's-
shore.
That's not what that means, I don't think.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Nope.
All right. Thank you. And let's move to the food segment. Josh, please tell us about your lunch escapades.
So anyway, I went to lunch today. That's all. No. I went in and they had a special. In fact, they had two specials. They had the pizza burger, which I did not get, but I didn't know about that until later. But no. Piled high up on the thing was Philly steak and cheese tater tots. You know, at first you think that doesn't look all that appetizing, but I don't think you realize how nicely caramelized the steak is, and then the peppers, and then the onions, and then the cheese, and then the perfectly fried tater tots. My friends, I couldn't eat it all. It was too much. It was too much, but it was fantastic.
So much flavor.
No. There was a lot of flavor. I mean, steak and cheese and peppers and onions.
It almost looks like
With
pulled
seasoning.
pork as opposed to steak, but
Yeah,
or a brisket.
no.
At which point did you just throw your fork aside and just start to scoop it up with your hands?
No, I never got to that point, but I got to 3/4 through, and I was just done, and I had to go get 2 glasses of water to offset all the salt and everything included in there. But boy, that was really good.
Is that the first time you've had this one on the show? I feel like it's
Yes.
usually barn show
First time.
tots.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time.
I was waiting for Barn Show Tots as the title.
Yeah,
But
no.
I saw tots, and that's what I figured.
Philly steak.
But no,
and
this
cheese
thing
tots.
just needs two little hooks on the side, so you can just attach it directly to your mouth and chew.
Yes.
Just sort of dip your face into it occasionally. It's like they need some sort of facial facial
There's a
attachment.
feedback.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Josh. And we're going to move to the
Thank
news.
you.
And we have some good news. Actually. A while back, we talked about how the Ryzen 7 5800X3D was going to come back and save us from DDR5. And it did, but of course, people have been trying to resell it on eBay. The availability wasn't the best at first, but now it is. I'm on newegg.com right now. It's just $349 US. It's MSRP. And you even get a free liquid cooler with it for a limited time.
That's like a $80 or $90 all-in-one cooler. Think about it.
240 Cooler Master Elite. And you need a cooler with this. So it takes care of it. 105 watt DDR4 memory support. Works on, many AM4 motherboards from the last several years.
In fact, there are X370 boards that still have BIOS upgrades to run this. You won't get PCI 4.0 support, but boy, it can actually run on older motherboards.
But on newer motherboards, you do get PCIe 4 support.
You do. B550. You can't get an X570 anymore. They stopped producing those a while back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Sad face.
Can you still get the 550?
Yes,
Yeah,
the B550 is
probably, yeah.
real.
There's a lot of 620s out
One of
there
my
too.
favorites.
If you look for is that AM5? The really cheap boards.
No,
we look
AM
for.
Yeah, 520s are the really super cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the DDR5 board. That's just going to ruin your day.
That's silly talk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if GT Beakerman said, "Boy, I sold mine off 2 years ago." Well, if you sold yours off 2 years ago, you probably made a tidy profit because they were not being shipped anymore at that time. And so, they were reaching $600 on eBay for a
That's ridiculous.
T800X3D until they released these at $349. Plus, you get a cooler.
Yeah.
And
in
a
these
face
temperatures,
change
you need
pad.
one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you do get a
the
free
face
pad.
change thing.
That's right.
Yes.
That's like a $30 piece.
Yeah, that's not like
I
the old
think
style
that's so
Tim's.
much.
This is
Yeah.
decent. I've never got to play with one. I'm kind of curious,
Yeesh, that was the time.
but I'll reapply my heatsink. So
I thought about buying one because I bought one before to test, and then because the resale value was good, I just sold it on. I lost about $20 or something, but now I could just buy it again and keep it. Do an AM4 build.
I do have an X570M micro ATX board
Oh, the
in
best
the
size.
box here that I have used previously, but it's
should see
sitting
what
with
it's
no
worth.
processor in it.
Oh.
You're sitting on a gold
well, it's
mine.
probably worth more.
It's gold, Jerry. Gold.
Gold, Jerry.
All right, moving on. The RTX 50 series offers many things, like higher numbers in the product name, slightly higher power draw, and more
The ability to
fake
spend
frames.
more money than you
yeah,
really
higher
want.
price,
Yeah.
more artificially created frames. Anyway, it also has no hotspot monitoring for some reason until now, because Hardware Info and Hardware Monitor both have added support for hotspot temperature reporting. This is a big deal if you care about the hotspot of your GPU. Turns out some of those numbers are pretty
GeForce call their hotspot something, branded? Or is that just me?
So
I don't know
NVIDIA
what you're talking about, so I'm just going to ignore you.
Yeah. NVIDIA
You've
never
never found
wanted...
one?
NVIDIA
there was
never,
a legal and marketing reason for this. So I don't understand.
NVIDIA never wanted this public, so Afterburner, MSI is an official partner. Their software was never allowed to have this. So Afterburner's developer, Alexei, I'll just use his screen name, Unwinder, explained that he cannot add the monitoring directly to Afterburner for legal and marketing reasons, but you can get these other utilities which do show this information now. So NVIDIA's stance is uncertain. VideoCards has reached out to NVIDIA for a statement. I'm reading from videocards.com, and I doubt they're going to get a satisfactory answer there, but who knows? You're going to see numbers well over 100, so prepare yourselves, depending on what card you have.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
it's kind
are you
of
saying they
interesting
didn't
with
want them published because the numbers were scary? Sorry, Ken. Okay.
No, it's fine. Because in the 50 series, the hotspot temperature is sort of hidden in the API, and since NVIDIA doesn't use an open source API, this was tricky to get. And so Hardware Monitor pulled some tricks to get this. And I'm pretty sure NVIDIA doesn't want this out there.
No,
so it's going to be interesting.
They'll probably get sued for it because they used an internal developer tool to get this.
Ooh.
It wasn't like they reverse engineered something or hacked into it. I don't think. I think they're actually just using...
I honestly
code.
think they did reverse engineer it. What they did is
maybe.
they used the internal developer tool to pull the actual values to know, here's the number we're looking for. And then they found that encoded in the bit stream that was coming off the raw feed. They could interface to it and just get like raw transcripts of like page data and stuff from what the card was doing. And they could look for those values inside of that raw data and go, aha, we found them, or how it was coded. And then they yanked them out of there without the developer's toolkit.
Do you think this could aid people looking for issues with factory thermal application?
Yeah.
I feel like this would be very
Or how
valuable.
to ruin your card in 10 steps with liquid metal.
Yeah. Or you could, actually see the trace when your 12V2 decides to go up in smoke. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is your card? Is
speaking
that
of
a new
which-
RGB on your card?
Why is it
so
strobing?
realistic?
Yeah.
The flame looks real.
The flames on my face.
And the bad thing is I've got a 4090 right over there that's using liquid metal and a 12-volt high power.
There you go.
Living on the edge.
It'll keep you warm in the winter.
Yeah, Josh.
Sidebar. Longtime listener and reader, James from Canada, received an offer to buy his 4090, RTX 4090 for $4,200, and he couldn't resist. So he said yes. I said, "We'll meet you at your house," and he's like, "Okay."
No.
No, the answer is no.
No.
But anyway, he's a big guy. He's an ex-football player, ex-offensive lineman. Can handle himself. He said, "Sure."
CFL or NFL?
A small CFL, a small Chinese woman drove up in a Mercedes. He handed her the car. She opened up the rear of this SUV, and there was a testing station. Plugged it in, booted it up, made sure it worked, gave him $4,200 of cash, and drove off.
Wow.
English was not her first language.
That card is going straight to China somewhere.
That card is
As a
going
gift.
directly to China. Yeah.
Are you suggesting that wasn't her test bed set up in the back of the Mercedes?
In the back of a Mercedes that you drive around Canada buying 4090s.
I feel
It
left out.
almost sounds
AI
too good to
AI
be true.
server farm
In the van.
another country.
Unmarked white vans with AI server farms near you.
Yes.
Next, Microsoft will finally allow Windows 11 users to disable web and store results in search.
Oh, this is good news.
It's testing a redesigned Windows 11 search experience that gives local apps, settings, and files a better chance of appearing first. A better chance of appearing first?
A better chance.
Already,
Not a good
this is
chance.
sounding worse.
A
Every time
better chance.
some positive story comes out about it, you can always read between the lines and realize that this is just it's lipstick on a pig. This is not the solution we wanted, but it's the solution we will get.
Yes. Don't worry, it's AI enhanced.
Sorry.
In fact, here's the new start menu is just Copilot. It's just the Copilot button. There is no start button.
Don't give them ideas.
It's probably just going to listen to you as you speak to it. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Listens to your
Start the
thoughts.
command prompt in admin mode.
All right, so that was exciting. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, but-
There's a sub link here. Let me follow that. The horrors of Windows 95 program installation revealed.
Sebastian, I'd just like to counterpose when Windows does something good, like, oh, we've improved search by removing some of the crap. And then I like to go, hey, do you remember where the floor is for them and how easy it should be for them to improve something considering where they started? Jeremy posted the perfect article to illustrate this just a little while ago. So go ahead, Jeremy.
Way back in the days of yore, before the best operating system, Windows 98 Second Edition, ever came out, we used Windows 95. Often because if you were running a DOS-based game, it actually ran too fast. So you needed something to slow your computer down so the frame rates would make Wing Commander 2 playable. And so you would launch Windows 95 and enjoy the thing that was the current offering from Microsoft. And we think back to those days when, it was so much better. You know, they didn't do awful things back then. Microsoft actually was looking out for us. I got 6 words for you. Setup, install, inst, imposta, Aurelia, and Felrack. Those are install in a couple of different languages, and bonus points for everyone points out that you can't have install without inst. So they've already added redundancy to this buddy list. When you installed a program in Windows 95, it didn't know what an installer was, so it had some keywords that it looked for. And if those words appeared in the path or in the name of the file, Windows 95 realized this is a setup file and we should install something. And we didn't know this. Raymond Chen did. He's an old school Microsoft guy who's retired and now is just spilling beans left, right, and center. It's bloody hilarious. So yeah, this was literally the only way Windows 95 knew that installer was an installer and not a launcher or any other type of exe. This is pre-MSI. If someone had misnamed that setup file and it wasn't quite on the list, if anywhere in the path had the word setup, it'd say, oh, no, cool, this is probably an installer. I'm sure it is great to install. No problems. It's a good thing viruses were hard to spread back in the days when the internet was really rare. Because otherwise, literally, it would be like, yeah, awesome setup.exe, and you are completely and utterly hosed. Then they realized that, hey, if the setup file wasn't on the list but did install it, it would sort of install it but let it do whatever it felt with INI files. And they actually had to program in, if you ever run a file that you've decided is a setup file, please take a look at what INI files have changed and pick one, but not the other. Don't have both of them going. And as the register points out, this explains why sometimes you would randomly install a program and your audio driver would go utterly insane. And it was because there were two INI files and it got to pick between the two of them, and it would choose the bad one.
Poorly. He chose poorly.
Poorly.
So anytime you can encode behavior as magic words in file names, I think it's the lowest common denominator for like API calls, and it makes my skin crawl.
So yes, the Windows has always been horrific. We just either didn't know, we were ignorant, or forgot.
We didn't care.
Or didn't care, or didn't have a choice.
Sebastian, you look kind of bored. Are you feeling okay tonight?
Yeah.
Is it a little hot and muggy in your studio?
Here, Josh. I was considering moving down to the basement for this week's show, but then it would be all echoey. So I stayed up here, but it's in the mid to high 80s, I think. The upstairs gets very hot here.
Your sound is mellifluous.
I mean, that's why I'm here. I put some of my old PC games back behind me, which are helping. Since my sound panels fell down because it was so humid up here, all the adhesive I'd used just fell right off the wall. So anyway, moving on to the next news story. What?
I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Thank you. And you're going to see more of me and my shiny, sweaty face as we continue. From Tech Power Up, AMD FSR multi-frame generation with up to 8X mode is in development. This is incredible. I thought NVIDIA was only going up to 6. They go up to 8.
8 is bigger than 6.
Isn't it incredible? Thank you.
I do like how this slide here says ML powered. That's what it should be. Machine learning, not AI. Machine learning. They're looking at the previous frame and the current frame, and then they're looking at depth and motion vectors and using optical flow reprojection, motion vector reprojection, and interpolating game motion vectors in low resolution and then blending them and using an ML network for optical flow and then predicting color using this ML model, you get a generated frame. That's a lot.
You know what's great?
Of stuff.
You know what's crazy about this?
Yeah.
It's still faster than traditional. No, it's still faster than traditional rendering with ray tracing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's more than one way to skin a cat, and you know what? They're skinning the cats to save their lives.
Yeah.
They're skinning up to 8
Imaginary
cats
ray tracing is better.
for every frame.
Poor kitties. Think of the kitties.
No, it's virtual kitties. They're machine learning kitties.
For every ray you trace, a kitty dies.
I too think ML is a better descriptor, Sebastian.
Yeah.
The AI has just become too ubiquitous. Please.
Yeah,
please tone it
AI,
down.
we don't need it. Moving on,
It's
AI.
all fuzzy math. Fuzzy math.
A story about AI. For Google's 25th anniversary, Google Image Search gifts you more AI.
Oh.
Just for me? For my birthday? Oh, no, it's for their birthday. It's a wonderful gift. They're like hobbits. They give other people gifts on their birthday.
Mm-hmm. What did Bilbo say? I don't know half of you half as well as I should.
I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
Yes.
So yeah, Google Search. It's been out for 25 years. And now AI is mandatory. I have to say, though, having used Google Search a lot lately, as always, Gemini summaries are not that bad because they cite all their sources.
Better.
If you look at ChatGPT, it just gives you stuff. Where did it come from? Well, it came from our sophisticated model. That's great. If you Google something and you get a Gemini summary, there are little links down below it to every one of the cited sources, and if you click on it, it highlights the words that it used. So to me, that's fine. It's just basically
it's a little bit more transparent.
Stuff. Yes,
and you could follow that rabbit hole and say, okay, what they're saying is not that far off of what I need to know.
Too often,
I
it's
have-
Reddit. So that leaves something.
Yeah,
to
that's
say,
true.
but-
I have had conversations with Chaz, which is my nickname for ChatGPT, with Chaz where it has cited. No, stop, not that Chaz.
That's what I think of when I think of Chaz.
No.
Why don't let me scroll? It won't let me
Really?
scroll down. Come on, move the image down. Okay, this is
No neckline.
Is this Google?
what is happening. Is Google is just being
That's-
weird right now. There we go.
That's Cher's offspring, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next, a measured reflection on the death of physical media. Why? You want to own things? You need to become comfortable with the concept of renting.
I'd like to archive things.
This is why I download all my MP3s from Amazon. I do not use their player. I don't want them taken away. I don't use
'Cause they will.
Spotify. Spotify, they will do terrible things to you.
They can make things literally disappear and never be back again. And if you happen to save them, they will legally go after you for daring to try and save for prosperity the product they've already abandoned and aren't making money off of anymore, except through litigation. This is not good. It has nothing to do with why I brought out a bunch of my old game collection and put it behind me. It's just, seriously, you've given up on a product. You no longer have any interest in selling it, supporting it, making any money off of it. Someone wants to save that for people 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, to say, hey, this is a thing I enjoyed back in the day, and I'd like to share it with you. And you put it up there, and suddenly this company, which abandoned the project decades ago, a red light goes off and says, hey, we can sue someone for bringing back that product we don't care about anymore, except to ruin people's lives who loved it, paid for it, and want to share it with somebody now that we won't let them have it anymore. That's the part that bugs me, because most of my CDs and DVDs aren't going to work anymore. That the ink that they use to etch the top of it has probably eaten through the plastic and has destroyed that tiny little layer of film where the data was. That's not the point. The point is being able to archive these somewhere, to be able to download them like Good Old Games does, where you have the entire installer and it doesn't care if that online server that it phones home to every single time you launch the game, that single player game, it doesn't give you an error saying, sorry, we can't talk to the mothership, you're not allowed to play your single player game. It just lets you play it. That's what drives me nuts, is just erasing giant chunks of our history of the gaming that we used to do a long time ago.
I think that this is a much larger discussion that for some reason became topical when Sony announced that they weren't going to put a disk drive in their next generation video game console. The lack of physical media has been very real for the last 2 decades.
Oh, for crying out loud. Adobe can get the blame.
They won't even
right
let
there.
you buy it digitally. You have to rent it.
You are not allowed anymore. And everyone learned it from them. Microsoft learned it from them. Just about everyone else learned it from them. No, you can't buy Creative Suite. You can only rent it. And no,
Digital
it's not good.
feudalism. Digital feudalism. You own nothing.
I bought DaVinci Resolve Studio because I refused to rent Premiere. So it's just, and you
that's
know
all
what?
you
It's
can do.
great. It's great software.
Yeah. No, I in my post I went back as far as like GameSpy, which Steam literally had to revive because they were trying to sell a bunch of the old games that depended on GameSpy to be able to play. But by GameSpy folding up, that killed Civ, killed a whole bunch of the old multiplayer games. Adobe, Nintendo has done the same bloody thing where you can't buy your cartridges anymore for some of the handhelds that they've got. This is not a new thing. It's just, it's an erosion of our history.
Yeah, and it's gone beyond just this industry, because this is happening in the automotive industry. where manufacturers are saying, yes, your car has heated seats in it, but you have to subscribe to use them. Your car has a remote start feature, but you have to do an annual subscription to our app to be able to remote start your car.
Your car can turn left, but we're going to have to get a subscription for that.
So this highly expensive thing you have bought, you don't own it because you can't use everything on it. A YouTuber I watch who does automotive stuff, Legit Street Cars, a few years ago, he had bought a wrecked Tesla. It was not a salvage Tesla. It was just wrecked. He did the repairs on it. Tesla, since it had been wrecked and he was no longer the owner, Tesla logged into this car remotely and turned off fast charging on it. Why? I don't know. But manufacturers should not be able to do stuff like that to something you own. Okay, my rant is over. Sorry.
Yep. Well, John Deere is very deeply upset they lost their recent lawsuit.
True.
Yeah.
I liked your gratuitous use of the Repo Man picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Article.
Did John Deere also release a combine thing that was pure electric, but it required the use of like a 1 mile extension cord? Because batteries cannot provide the power for it. Yeah, let me combine over that extension cord and just kill everything. Yeah.
That was real?
Yes.
It wasn't just a red-green sketch. It was a real thing.
Yeah.
Thought we were past that in our society. When the guy on the street with the electric lawnmower was always dragging an orange cord behind him, and you're like, you're going to run that thing over.
And it does.
Oh, that did happen. I have seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that this year.
Oh, the guys with the hedge trippers, the electric hedge trimmers. Yeah, always putting their own.
Well, because they sling it over their shoulder so it's not dragging and unplugging all the time.
Yeah.
And zip.
It's the best. Could watch this all day.
Did you know that Windows market share is falling? That's our next news story. Windows market share is falling. How Not to Win Friends and Influence People by Jeremy Hellstrom.
Well, I mean, they've been doing a very steady parade of decisions that all of us hate. The fact we're celebrating that the search doesn't bring up web search first and not your local files or programs kind of says exactly just how pleased we are with Microsoft at this point. And so this is Stat Counter. So they're one of the cookies you get when you're browsing the web. And it just takes a look at what your OS is and fingerprints your browser and a whole bunch of other things that you totally shouldn't need to know. But yeah, we're happy giving out all the time. Windows usage is on the decline this year. It's not the entire market. It's just what they could track. But OS X is coming up. I'm guessing the Neo might be a part of that. And I'm not going to say this is the year of Linux, but I mean,
no, don't.
Yes, don't. 2026. You heard it here first.
Because SteamOS is now official. You can go out and download it. You don't have to buy their bloody box. Bazite is great. The translation that we were talking about, now it's gone. We were talking about this last week. The translation layer, Proton. Yeah, the new Proton version is added a huge number of games that it works now perfectly with. Yes. So you don't need Windows to play games anymore. And Microsoft is realizing that we only had two customer bases. The corporations that are sort of forced into it for networking and the gamers. And the gamers are leaving us. And we're not sure why.
You don't say.
Maybe if we let Copilot help them with their game, in-game, that would help. Just like a Copilot overlay on top of your game saying, this is what you were doing wrong. Here, we can help you.
Right. You need to work on your
Coming soon
aim.
to a screen
I
near
can
you.
help. Little dog
Yes.
pops up. It looks like you're trying to shoot someone.
It looks like your kill-to-death ratio is lousy. Would you like some help?
You're not a team player.
I am a little concerned about this stat counter list here because OS X or OS 10 is listed at 11.89%. Mac
And
OS,
not really.
which is the later version, is 4.48%.
Weird.
And then Chrome OS follows with 1.21%. Where is Linux?
So, well, you got to go to the chart, and the chart also doesn't have the same numbers that Slashdot shows. But as I say,
okay.
this is literally online tracking. But you can see that dip, that blue line at the top there. That's,
Oh, yeah. It's definitely trending
downwards.
down.
Yes. So we're not looking at the exact number of computers running each OS. We're just looking at people that are hitting web pages that StatCounter is allowed to look at.
But look at
and that you haven't completely
Unknown.
blocked them.
Unknown is on the rise big time here.
And those will be unspecified Linux.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope so.
If you click through straight to the web counter site, it gives you a little bit better. But yes, Unknown is kind of amusing. It's not so much that it's giving you exact numbers, it's giving you trends. Right? They track this for a very long time, so you can watch the trends. And the trend for Microsoft is as it should be.
I think it's time for a new CEO at Microsoft.
Concerning for them, perhaps?
No, it's the people that are wrong.
Look, they like to copy Apple, let's face it. And Tim Cook is stepping aside. Let Satya step aside.
Ooh.
Did you see the story
Tim
about
Cook,
them
head of Microsoft. I like this. Sorry, man.
letting them finally install with pure remote, like off-web versions of Windows to a local PC? They're finally allowing you to do that.
Wow.
Just like Mac OS for a bunch of years, 10 plus years.
Can you download the image right from
They're gonna-
terminal like you can with Mac OS or no?
I don't know.
Sort of.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's time for some
OLB/bypass.
more good news, I hope. It's a story about memory availability. SK Hynix says next year, 2027, will be the worst year for the memory shortage.
Yet.
Oh, thank gosh.
They have colluded
Worst
successfully
year
for
yet.
another year, and the prices won't come down anytime soon. Great.
And
That's
we've got to prop
allegedly.
up this bubble
Allegedly.
somehow. So
Allegedly colluded.
CMXC is
shortages
producing
will
more,
get worse.
but they're not lowering the prices.
Why would they?
So, exactly.
All these companies are experiencing explosive growth, not unlike the explosive
It's like-
diarrhea epidemic.
I was going to say they all ate a lot of lettuce last year.
And Taco Bell.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, but they
ate some.
expect prices to increase to a level that will stabilize, which is
Until 2030, 4 years from now.
that's correct. 2030 is when they expect supply to sort of reach, equilibrium with demand with elevated pricing.
You know, I never wanted a bubble to burst until now. This is just dumb. We'll take
it's
a
less of a
short-term
bubble
hit.
and more of a pimple.
Oh,
It's a blackhead.
man.
Those are
No,
harder
if
to get
only it
out.
was that small. Yeah. You got to squeeze harder, and it only works on your nose.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think it's time to move on to our next segment.
Welcome to Insecurity Corner, your weekly reason to drink.
And our first story from Krebs on Security, Microsoft patches a record 570 security flaws.
Well, everything will be better now.
Oh, yeah. It only takes 2 reboots. So everyone's going to love it. But yeah, it's... it was the biggest Patch Tuesday of Patch Tuesdays so far. There are an obnoxious amount of errata and stuff that hasn't been exploited as far as we know, but there are definitely 2 0 days in here. And they decided not to do those out of band. They decided to wait until Patch Tuesday, because Nightmare Eclipse is really having fun with them. Because both of those 0 days are, of course, from that repo. It's amusing, unless you're on a Dell, in which case you can't update, because some Dells with an Intel processor in them, essentially it just pegs your CPU at 100% until it crashes and burns. Oopsie. But apart from that, it does seem to have gone relatively well. And I gotta give them a bit of kudos for this. You patch 570 things and only hose one specific subtype of system. Microsoft, that's what you should be aiming for. Let's go back to those days, when you could reference 9s in reliability. Not what we're used to. So yeah, update now if you haven't, because it's not just the convenient stuff. It's not just being able to turn off web results in your search. There's a couple of 0 days in there. One is the BitLocker, and one is a really nasty RCE. But don't worry, there's worse things, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Do you know what makes patching 250 elevation of privileges possible? Do you know what makes it possible? I'll tell you what makes it possible. It's 2 letters. One we haven't spoken of yet in this podcast.
ML?
It's the advancement. No, those are not the letters. It's AI. I mean, we really don't talk a lot about it.
It is an AI boosted patch.
So that 570 privilege escalation, 250 of them or so, patches brought to you from Microsoft courtesy of AI. You're welcome.
So what happens when the AI that's writing the patches decides it doesn't want its vulnerability patched? Oh no,
you
that's
have
not
that particular
that's fine. It's good.
AI on the malware makers side. They're working with that one.
Oh no, I'm waiting until it's on the Microsoft side. The one you pay for.
Shall we talk about shims?
Yes,
We can.
So
Jeremy,
Microsoft
what's a shim?
Well, Microsoft
go ahead.
Secure Boot has been broken for a decade, apparently, and we just noticed
more
it.
than a decade.
What are these old and forgotten shims they're talking about?
They were old images that let you essentially set up, or sorry, there were old ways of setting up images that you could either install it on a device running Windows to be able to securely boot into Linux, or vice versa. And essentially anyone could make one. It was just a really easy way of not necessarily bypassing secure boot, but convincing it that it was okay. You'd think that this had been solved, because if you install Bazzite, you need the super secret code to be able to put in. But these little binaries let you just completely and utterly skip that. And we're talking 2010, 2011 when these started getting popular. So it's been more than 10 years. And this entire time, I don't know if people didn't clue into it, which doesn't make any sense, or they just didn't care. And hey, this way of doing things has been around for forever. And ironically has nothing to do with a Secure Boot certificate update that we're all still trying to deal with to this day, because Microsoft has never done that. And I can't wait till it's on a 3-month cadence. That'll be brilliant. So yeah, Secure Boot, if you actually sat down and thought about it, has always been bypassable. It's just, we never really sat down and thought about it, because this was something we didn't bother doing after parallels and dual booting and a couple of other things that let you just sort of pick and choose your operating system back and forth.
Jeremy, the way that these shims actually functioned that allowed foreign operating systems, remember Microsoft was the inventor of the secure boot system, foreign operating systems such as Linux to be acceptable to the secure boot UEFI subprocesses. These shims had to be cryptographically signed by Microsoft. And well, they had to be allowed to run in this space, so they had to be acceptable to the secure boot process. However, they were susceptible. They were found to be susceptible to malware and vulnerabilities. But Microsoft never revoked the signing of the cryptographically compromised or the ones that were compromised, these shims. They had other ones that weren't, but the old ones, they never turned off the signing. No. So there were ways to use those old, still signed and acceptable shims to kind of boot your way or allow booting into a lot of things that probably should never have been possible. And this was the gateway.
Because essentially
the UEFI enabled malware.
Yes, because that's the idea, is that the shim actually inserts itself as just boot. Other than that, your system looks the exact same. It's not that you suddenly switched to Ubuntu. You're still logging into the same Windows install you had. It's just that at boot, something interesting.
We've replaced the 5-boot process normally served during this moment with dark sparkling Folgers crystals.
Yes. And they couldn't tell the difference.
No.
Yeah, and so this is where the permanent UEFI infections are coming from. Where at that point you throw your motherboard out, because gone are the days you could replace your CMOS chip. When I was digging through the things back there, I found an old. There was a company, I can't remember what they were called, but they would when the CMOS chips, you could pop them out. And it would have a dual one. So it sat in and you could put one on the bottom and one on the top. So if you were going crazy overclocking, you could physically flash one of your CMOS chips, then revert to the other one, boot up again, do whatever you felt like to that BIOS. And if you rendered the machine completely unbootable, you could flip physically back to the old CMOS chip and boot up again. This was an A7A266 I bought it for obvious freaking reasons, if anyone remembers those. Switching from SD to DDR was not as easy as they made it sound.
But there were boards that had both. So that was nice.
That was one. That was the first one.
What is it? The AMD 760 was the first DDR?
Yes.
Chipset?
760, 768.
Yeah. 760.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next Insecurity Corner story. From Bleeping Computer, new phishing kits target Microsoft 365 accounts and evade MFA.
Or use MFA in the way that your users use it. Because they will accept just about any frickin' prompt that comes up. The first one is spread to you by your wonderful friend PDF. Hey, you're looking for a new PDF reader that isn't Edge. Would you like to have this? Cool. It's just that in order to use the full functionality of it, we need you to log in. And could you also give us your phone number? So not only do they get the MFA via app, they get the MFA via SMS. Not something anyone that you work with is going to care about. They're just going to think, awesome, they're giving me a new way to do PDFs. I'm totally logging in because this is utterly and completely legit. The other one, a little harder to blame your users for, because what it does is give you a proper, well-formed login request for Microsoft service, like Microsoft 359, and you log in to that actual Microsoft page, but because you've clicked on that link, you did it. You clicked on that link. Everything is legit, except there is a script running in the corner which uses OAuth 2 to capture that happy little cookie, that happy little authorization code that says you're authorized, and copies it, and now they can log in anywhere else that they feel like, because they've captured that session that says, yes, I have authenticated. It's very common. It's everywhere. But yeah, they just keep coming up with new ones and keep coming with people that happily click these links.
Stop infecting yourself.
Yeah, just please. Including you. You think you're immune, but no. In that moment of weakness, you too will click that link and not second guess yourself.
They look official. You finally got, your,
It literally
your
is the
parents
right
or your
page.
sister using LastPass, and suddenly they're being spammed
Oh,
into.
yes. And then there is this.
Yeah.
LastPass and
LastPass.
Bitwarden users targeted with fake security alerts. But how? Oh, emails, phishing emails.
Yeah, they look official, but they're not. They're taking people to landing pages that then lifts their credentials and steals their LastPass accounts and their passwords.
I don't think everybody checks the email address. I know that can be spoofed anyway, but when it comes from hello@lastpassnewsletter.com, I don't think that's legitimate, but
Yeah, I mean, if people check that would be wonderful, but they don't always.
So you're saying you got that email, but you didn't click on it?
I don't use LastPass, but a lot of people do.
Nor do I. Well, I mean, my password is now I forgot my password.
That's
Yes.
a great password.
That's it. You can't hack my account because I don't know my password.
right. I
Every
can't
time
hack
I
my
log
own
in,
account.
I'm
I can't even
pretty-
log into anything.
No, I just hit that.
Security.
I forgot my password. Send me whatever it is to.
Well, what happens when
authenticate.
somebody gets access to the email address that you have all of those forgotten password links sent to?
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe they'll email me a list.
To what email? It's been compromised.
Now, we have
It's a
proven long
conundrum.
ago that passwords were the worst frickin' idea.
I actually
For getting
like passwords
humans
but
to
I guess I'm
authenticate.
weird. We listen to Jeremy almost every week tell us that passwords are bad and he doesn't use them.
Well, I don't remember them, so you can't torture it out of me. Because I literally don't know what they are. I've given up.
All right. From Bleeping Computer again. Progress urges ShareFile admins to shut down servers over credible threat. Progress apparently is a
Yeah.
business name here. Oh, Progress Software.
Is this a service you've ever used, Brett? Like,
It is not.
Oh, okay.
ShareFile is...
But it
the
is
secure
used
way of
heavily in
sharing
enterprise.
Yes.
It is used a lot in enterprise. So it's very surprising for them to be saying, hey, that hybrid solution where we log people in, we just send them to your repo, we manage all the linking and the authorization. They're basically saying that entire mechanism is compromised. You have to shut that down. So if you want to keep your files locally and use Progress Software's share file mechanism, if that's what you're using right now, they're advising you to shut that down right now. That's it.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
And I
only
think
have
they
one.
did. If you're
One
using the cloud-based one, I think they actually did shut it down.
Only the hybrid solution. I think that their
okay.
fully hosted solution is still okay. The hybrid one where they do the authorization and pass through to your localized storage is the broken part. My guess is that link is compromised.
One story remains in this segment, and it is from Security Week. Chrome 150 update patches 27 vulnerabilities.
This is the same story. We don't always say it, but this week we're going to say it out loud. Yeah, update your browser. Firefox and or Chrome, depending on which one you're using, or Chromium, etc.
Edge, Microsoft Edge.
Probably upgrade that.
Update your
or
browser
update that
for
one, too.
more seamless Copilot integration and more AI tools on that sidebar.
There are at least 10 high
Essentially,
severity.
before you log in
fixed.
to watch us every Wednesday,
Yeah.
update your browsers.
Just do
All
it.
of them.
No, we're safe. You don't have to fear going to PCPer.com.
No,
You want
wink,
the
wink, nudge, nudge.
YouTube.com/PCPer.
You want the latest
Totally
150, version 150,
Okay.
115, or 114.
And thus
That's
ends another Insecurity Corner. And we're going to move to Gaming Quick Hits and a great story that I added this morning. PC Gamer turns Steam games, not PC Gamer the outlet. This is Tom's Hardware, but a PC Gamer turned their Steam games into cartridges. So this is an actual working thing. This isn't just a concept. It's 2.5-inch SSDs, just 128 gig. They're probably only $100 each. I mean, they're super cheap by today's standards.
Well, this is where I'm concerned because he says he was getting them for like $8.
Well, they were worthless. I hope they still are, because this is a great idea. He has made cover art for them, and each of these, once docked, there's a script that runs, and they automatically load up the game in Steam. Apparently, it's not.
No, it's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, look at this. He puts it in the dock, and boom, here we go.
So he's either running SteamOS, Spazite, or something. He's programmed this. So he uses UDEV. He programs in a rule the second that an SSD is connected. You see that event, trigger system D daemon. If it's an SSD that has a script, which is literally to take you to that game on Steam, boom, away it goes and launches. You're only constrained by the transfer speed of that whatever dock you're using to plug them in. I think this is utterly brilliant. I just wish I had a bunch of SSDs lying around. I'd sell them instead of using them for this, but still.
Not anymore.
Yeah, we should do a live price check. Newegg.com for 128 gigabyte SSDs. That's exactly what we're going to do. They're about $30. Here's a Silicon Power for $30. That's just 23 cents a gigabyte, Josh.
Huh. Well, you know what? If you think that a game costs $60 anymore, they may take a hit on media, but
Well,
yeah,
It's like buying a cartridge from Nintendo. You
Yeah.
got to put your game on it, and you got to pay what they charge. It's
it
not
doesn't
ideal.
taste the same.
Oh, that's true. The new ones, they have that special label. All right. Finally, in Gaming Quick Hits, these are quick. We're not lying about this segment. C-beams
quick.
could bring back memories of escape velocity.
Do you remember escape velocity?
no.
no.
That seems like one that Sebastian might have
I don't know the game.
saved. Oh, it was after Elite, with the same sort of idea as Elite, where they were
Really?
trying to make a relatively immersive space sim, not to the same extent. And just like this one, it was 2.5D, so you're on a plane, but some things are off the plane of elliptical, so you can point it at that and you can go that way, but now you're still on the same plane. You're not dodging and doing anything like that. So this is doing as Robin Williams from one of my favorite movies says, gravity works. It's a Newtonian. You're going to be trying to deal with how your spaceship is moving using thrusters to rotate. And at the same time, it's going to be a lot of combat, a lot of just open world space sim stuff from Hooded Horse, who are putting out an insane amount of games right now.
Do you see the sea beams glitter off the shoulder of Orion?
No, Tannhauser Gate.
Oh, okay.
Very close to that
yes.
gate. Yes.
But I don't know, because I don't know if Rutger Hauer is involved in this at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, those memories will all be lost, like tears in rain, anyway. So
they will.
Thank you. But yes, apparently there is a C-beam that you can equip in the game. This is up my alley. So honestly, I kind of put a spiel on about how if you've been avoiding AAA games, either because they've been kind of crap lately or because of the firings, Hooded Horse has put out an obscene amount of games lately, and I've enjoyed most of them. So keep an eye on them. This one is coming out soon. We don't know quite yet.
Excellent.
Soon.
Maybe we'll be able to download it.
But you know what you can't download? More RAM or storage.
Well, you wouldn't download those, right?
You know, if I could pirate storage right now, I would absolutely.
I'd download a car if I could.
Damn
Speaking
straight.
Speaking of storage, we're going to move to our featured review of the week. And Samsung has a brand new SSD. Yes, they had the gumption to release a consumer SSD in 2026.
How?
Well, I'll tell you how. Because this SSD 990, not 990 Pro, a drive that came out, I think, almost 4 years ago, it derailed.
When they sent you, it doubled your actual wealth, didn't it?
It did. I saw that I was getting it, and then the FedEx box came, and it took me a couple days to open it, and I finally opened it, like, it probably sent me the 500 gig. I'm sure this would be like really small. It was 2 terabytes. I couldn't believe it. I started to sweat profusely, because it was so hot up here. And then I passed out for a while, and then later I benchmarked.
You mean the guy with the handcuffed to the briefcase, delivering it to your door wasn't a hint that something valuable was in there?
Anyhow, this will not be as fast as the 990 Pro. That's just a spoiler alert right there. It's slower than a drive from 2022, and it costs more, and it has lower write endurance. Terabytes written for the 2 terabyte drive, 800 terabytes. Pro was 1200, and it has a shorter warranty, 3 years instead of 5. So anyway, yeah, it's Samsung VNAND, doesn't specify which kind. I'm assuming it's quad level, and host memory buffer, aka there is no RAM here. Maximum speed, though, surprisingly high. The box does not show the correct number. It shows 7,000. It actually can go over 7,200 and 50 megabytes per second. That's sequential. And up to sequential writes of 6,450. I did some testing. There's the drive, by the way. It's got a controller, and it's got some NAND, and that's it. And there's a sticker over it. There's not a whole lot here. But they're saying it's their most efficient SSD they've ever made. It only pulls about 4 watts under load, which is good. It's a Gen 4x4 drive. And empty, I was getting 7,300 megabytes per second reads. Not quite the advertised writes, under 6,000, but I only tested at the default settings, which are QD8, single thread. So I'm sure if I went up to QD32, that's where they get your numbers. After filling the drive, though, to 50% capacity with a bunch of random files and game installs and stuff, those writes dropped off a cliff.
Oh, yeah.
1,600
Dram them.
per second.
Dram them all to hell.
And this is after I ran a trim command and I waited and any kind of internal garbage collection or whatever, but
Yeah, but
not
still
sure
got
why
to
it was so
find
low.
those empty sectors across
Yeah.
2
Yep.
terabytes of flash.
So if you look at Crystal Diskmark results, here's the sequentials. The 990, I have a bunch of high-end drives that I've tested. So I had to find the closest results that I had, which was the Platinum P41, which is a solid drive. This SSD 990 actually very competitive with it at QD4 and above. Lower Q depths, QD1, QD2, which, unfortunately that's a much more realistic Windows Q depth for a lot of small file transfers. Significantly slower. We're talking 3,650 megabytes per second at QD1, 4427 at QD2, and then all the way up to 7249, basically the rated speed by QD4. But this will not compete with drives that have DRAM, unfortunately. You can see down here the sequential writes. Pretty consistent, even at lower Q depths, but not anywhere near the performance of that Platinum P41 at the same settings. Random reads, again, a little short of that P41. Random writes, very impressive. 4K random, it's its strength. It's right up there with faster drives. Here you have the 990 Pro, somehow actually slower. Not sure what's going on there. But the 990 right in the middle of this chart here, I was looking at the wrong drive at first. Above the 9100 Pro? That doesn't even make any sense. I will not accept that I didn't do the testing properly. We will move on.
Direct to the flash instead of any caching?
I don't know. So the most important test is, of course, the PC Mark 10 full system drive benchmark. And I ran this thing multiple times to ensure accuracy, though it does run itself 3 times. The 990 2 terabyte model is faster than the P41 overall. You have an average bandwidth of over 500 megabytes per second across all tests, and a final score of 3176. The 990 Pro averages 515 megabytes per second and had a score of 3288. So it's a little behind the Pro in a much more balanced, realistic scenario like the full system drive benchmark. So forgetting, the synthetic stuff where it didn't have the strongest showing. Overall, it's not bad, but it's all going to come down to price. As I said here, value will be the defining characteristic of this decidedly mainstream drive. So what's the pricing? $529.99
Ouch.
for a 2 terabyte DRAMless SSD. You can get the 1 terabyte model for just
2026.
$269.99. So no, it's not under 10 cents per gigabyte, David, in the YouTube chat. It's significantly higher than that.
But it's acceptable.
Is
in
it
this day and
acceptable?
age.
Is $530
No,
for
it's
2
not.
terabytes
But
acceptable?
if you need storage,
The one
I
good thing
can't
is that
believe I'm saying
Samsung
that.
is very aggressive with promotions. So maybe it'll be on sale immediately.
Yeah, there are
man.
good drives out there that are much less expensive than that. Even right now, there are much better values than that. Although that performance was pretty darn decent for a Gen 4 drive.
Yeah. Here we have a Samsung 990 Pro with heatsink for $448.95, brand new on Newegg.com. So if they don't knock about $100 off the MSRP for that 2 terabyte model soon, I don't think they're going to move very many units. Here we have the 990 Evo Plus 2 terabyte. That's also a Gen 4x4, about the same speed rating, and it's $359.95.
I believe there was a 990 Pro down in 2 terabyte that did not have the heatsink that was like 360. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. It's the number one bestseller in internal SSDs, Kent. And now we know why.
Yeah.
Recently launched the 990 right here, $529. There is no way. It's just, we've seen Samsung products launch and then almost immediately go on sale for a significant discount before. I hope that's what's happening here.
I hope
But
you're right.
I can tell you what's happening right here which is we're moving to the next segment, and Josh is going to get us started on picks of the week.
You know, shocking. I'm trying to like tell my kid to go ahead and buy this if he has the funds, but he's got an AM4 system and he's got memory that he, you know, didn't have to buy himself due to reasons. And instead of going with a higher end processor that requires a new motherboard and memory, no, just go ahead and get that 1500 X3D. $349, get a free Cooler Master Elite Liquid 240. I've got one of those. They're pretty good. They're not great. They're good. But you know what? That's just free money in your pocket. Free money. $80 worth of cooling. So yeah. If you got an AM4, you don't want to buy memory, don't want to buy a motherboard. If you missed out on the X3D, just get it and you have a gaming processor that's going to last you for another 3 to 4 years. Easy.
You know, at today's prices, you can either buy a computer at a thrift store, if thrift stores even sell computers anymore. You can game on some Dell business machine you bought on eBay for less than $100. Or you can buy the X3D. And that's about it. Those are your only options. Gaming on a potato or buying an X3D.
Uninstalling it on a potato.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Jeremy, your pick of the week.
I'm a potato now. Are you happy? Portal 2 callback. Games that you don't want to pay for, right? I mean, we're all on a limited budget here. Some of us are trying to save up for SSDs. Humble Bundle has a 12 game for $10 deal, which is a narrative bundle. And the first one has got me because I tried the Road Warden demo and it seemed interesting. Seems like a very short game, but your choices matter. So games where your choices matter, but they're 100 hours kind of frustrates you because first off, the game choices don't actually matter. Second off, if you want to play it a second time, who's got that time? It looked like a short one, but you made choices and that's how the game went. So you could actually replay it. A couple of the other ones like Dark Side Detective, apparently relatively short, interesting narrative, and apparently people can't read anymore. So maybe narrative games are the way to go. Like, stories are important. And 12 games for $10 are also pretty cool. So thank you, Humble. I'm sure it goes to a good cause as well. It differs from Canada and the US. And God, I hate making picks of the week sometimes.
Brett, your pick of the week.
Yeah, really simple pick for those who still have someone, probably not yourself, because you're a very sensitive person with regard your electronics and their accoutrements, but you may know someone who's a little bit hard on their charging cables. Why not get them an industrial charging cable? Here's one that has every end on it possible. It's got Lightning, it's got USB-C on one end, it's got USB-C on the other end, or USB-A, and it supports up to, as they say, 240 watts of robust coiled charging cord.
Oh, I want it for the coil. I miss those phones.
It is kind of cool for the coil. Now, I did happen to notice something a little bit unusual with this particular power cable. Sebastian, if you could click through to the 3P factory site on the second link, they do make a mention of it on the Woot page. For $12.99, you could get this cable, which is a fantastic deal considering that its list price is $39.99. Now, you can get it in black.
That's an expensive coil, but look at this off-white. This looks like something you found at a Goodwill right here.
Oh, yeah.
It does. It does have that patina to it. But at $39.99, I would not buy this. But at $12.99, a little bit tempted. But it does have a very interesting characteristic. Sebastian, if you'd scroll down a little bit, I want to read this particular aspect feature out. Keep going a little bit. It has fragrant core technology. Yeah, it's infused with a subtle,
okay.
refreshing scent that activates during use, keeping your environment pleasantly aromatic.
So
I
what-
read that off of the product page.
No, that's from your own personal experience, Brett. Just admit it.
Nope. I literally read it off the screen right now, live,
So,
because this is the way we
I-
normally do the show.
Diethyl is a nice smell.
I think when they tested this at 240 watts, it began emanating a smell. And they decided, hey, you know what? Rather than canceling this product, let's just make it a feature. It's got fragrant core technology. What's this? What's the subtle refreshing scent? It is probably burning plastic smell.
It's burning plastic. I don't know what they might be referring to. You might be right. Maybe not. But apparently this is smell-o-vision in a cable. So there you
Okay.
have it. 240 watts
Where's
of
the
charging
USB-B?
fragrance. There's no A to A. You can go C to C, C to Lightning.
no,
I'm
I mean,
sorry, it's
E.
not a
A to
Linus
C or A to
cable,
Lightning.
so I can't trust it. Linus is the only one who can make cables and screwdrivers that other YouTubers trust.
Apparently.
It looks like a fairly robust cable, though, and apparently it's even lights up or something as well as the fragrance. But yeah, get this for your person who keeps breaking the cables.
All right. Kent, your pick this week.
You know, with the economy around computer parts the way it is right now, there's a lot of small businesses going out of business. But you can still upgrade your system if you want. A lot of us have motherboards, and that are still effective, and there are upgrades for a lot of the CPUs we use. But if you're going to refresh your system, take a little time, make it look nice, get a set of custom cables from InSourced. Small business owner, does all of it himself. Joey's a great guy. I've bought lots of cables from him. There's a 10% off coupon on his website right now. You can go through this custom configurator, say exactly what styles you want. He's got more cable styles and more paracord styles than I even know what to do with. Just amazing selection. You can customize them any way you want. You can email him. I've got a build I'm working on right now, and the power supply had a very strange cable that I had to email and said, hey, can you make a custom cable of this? If you come back to me, Sebastian, so this is a 12-pin. This is the power supply end. This is the power supply end. On the other side, you've got two 8-pin PCIEs. Well, they're actually 6+2s. They've got the little pigtail. So I needed him to make a set of sleeves, or a sleeved cable that is the 12 volt high power that goes to two 8-pin and doesn't have the pigtail. No problem. So I've just got to configure it, get the measurements, and send in the order, and he'll take care of it. He's a really good guy, very responsive when you email him. I'd show you some of the cables I've had him make before, but they're all in systems.
That's a good sign.
Power is 12 volt high powers.
I have one. I have one on my 4090, and I've never had any problem with it. The plug end on his is actually really robust, and that may be very well why I've never had any problem with it. It also was one, when I plugged it in the first time, it was there, and when I did my system maintenance and redid my loop a little bit this most recent time, it was very difficult to get that cable out. And then, yeah, it really attaches very firmly and securely.
That's good to know. All right. I have a quick pick. It's for a website you may have heard of. You may not have heard of. It almost seems too good to be true. It's simply productkeys.com. This is not sponsored. I simply have used them a couple of times to get Windows keys for like $11. And you instantly get an email. You get your key. It activates. And everything's great.
And it works.
And it's a well-reviewed site. I was very skeptical. I did a bunch of research about it before I was willing to buy anything there. And I was like, no, actually, it's legit. They have a lot of stuff on here, and it's all extremely cheap. Productkeys.com. I paid $10.90 for Windows 11 Pro. Because that's about all it's
Been
worth.
there, done that.
Guess where Daddy's
Canadian
going
version,
to
too.
after this podcast?
The bathroom.
Yes, the bathroom. I've had beverages.
Well, you also had a very, very large bowl of tater tots covered with some kind of mystery meat and
Yeah.
lots of cheese.
Yeah, a lot of cheese.
Mystery meat.
Well, I don't know. You said it could have been beef.
It could have been
pulled pork.
Steakums for as all I know. You know, the Steakums is an engineered meat from cast-offs.
Wasn't it Philly cheesesteak over tots?
Yeah,
Yeah, could have very well been Steakums.
could have been Steakums.
We may never know.
Could have been
but-
homeless guy.
But, you know, after I ate it, I didn't start, waning and waxing philosophically like the Steakums guy on Twitter. So maybe it wasn't.
And on that note, we're going to say goodbye. Well, at least until next time, because we'll come back and do this again next week. It's the PC Perspective Podcast, and we record it every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We usually start streaming at around 10 past 10, maybe 10:15. Don't get your hopes up. Keep your expectations low.
Maybe 9:59 just to mess with you.
Oh, I've done it before.
No.
Every once in a while. I know
Come on.
Brett would be a little thrown, but I have started the stream early before. You never
Yeah,
know
it
what's
would
going to
be.
happen. But yeah,
True.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you did that. And really, sometimes you just need to. Go to YouTube, and it's a great way to interact because I can go to the community tab on our YouTube studio page and just immediately respond to comments right there.
Yeah.
Comments that I don't hear if you're just shouting at your car while you're driving down
And
the
you
road
do.
listening to the show.
And you do.
Unless
do
you
respond.
shout really loud. Really loud.
Oftentimes, Sebastian will respond in the original German as well.
That's right. Only it's machine learning.
Except, of course, he can only reply, Bitte lieben touchen mich nach the monkey. But, it's his...
This is the
We all
part
need
of
a little
Sprockets where we dance.
night monkey. Yeah.
We all need.
All right. Thanks for watching. Good night.